Hey guys, it's just me doing my midday, and wow, all sorts of thoughts right now. I was going to try to put some humor along with some serious topic in my midday. Sometimes I like to think about things and have a message, and today I had one, and then the humor went out the window, and then as I was walking back to what I'd hoped to show you guys, just the next strangest thing has happened. So I've been fortunate to stay with a beautiful family in a beautiful home and a beautiful development, literally just about, I don't know, 1,000 yards that way through the desert. And I was going to kind of walk you guys through the desert and share what it's like to see, the desert as I imagined it. And not everybody has my Facebook site, and I'm kind of a little overwhelmed right now. I just within the last half hour or so, well, first of all, I want to share this because this caught my mind before I forget. So this is the mountains are in the back, and I'm walking through a couple of blocks, and it looks like these are kind of mobile home, trailer homes with fenced-in area. And I hadn't had a dog attack. I had 3 of them early on in the journey back upwards of Indiana, and I hadn't had one since. And I had 2 in about a 45-second span just on that block over there, which is why I didn't come back on that block. But every one of these houses, I kid you not, I don't know what it is. Part of this journey is about humanity and neighborliness. Every sign, I can show them to you. Private property, no, here comes another dog, Jesus, a criminy. No trespassing, no effing trespassing. This is gonna get shot. Literally everyone. Here comes another dog coming after me. Look at this, here we go. So I can't even walk around here. Please don't eat me, dog. Please just keep walking, no matter what block I walk on. So here comes, okay, he didn't really bother me like the other 2 did. Anyway, but every house, every dog is psychotic. Every house has don't effing trespass, shot on sight, private property. Just kind of definitely not warm and welcoming over in this part. Anyway, so going back to my topic, if you didn't see my Facebook post, I said I'd ask you to do it. If you're a parent with younger kids, I ask you to watch the video. I walked over to Walmart to get some stamps to mail some cards home to my children, let them know I love them and I'm thinking about them. And as I was walking over, I saw a young man in the parking lot. It seemed to be down on his luck a little bit. I assumed homeless. And I walked out. I needed to get myself something to eat. I try to eat. I don't try to eat. I do eat crappy food because it's cheap. So I went over to Burger King and got a 2 for $6 deal. While I was sitting there eating it, the young man walked in and just got a cup of water, sat behind me. I asked him when he last ate. He couldn't remember. I gave him a sandwich and so to talk to him. He was very honest. I'm not an idiot. Clearly he's homeless. Clearly he's on drugs. Has a habit. We talked for a little while, and I asked him if I could put him, share. He said something. Well, it wasn't at that point. He said something to me about how I was talking to him about children and kids, and he said, I wish nobody would ever go through what I'm going through. And at that point I asked him if he wouldn't mind talking on camera. And we talked for a little while, and you could tell he clearly wasn't real clear-headed with what he was thinking or saying. Definitely a struggling young man, and it was really difficult for me because at some point, honestly, I left him. I can't save the world as much as I'd like to, just like nobody can. He did point the thumb at himself and acknowledge that he did this, and he started with OxyContin when he was 15 or 16, trying to get the sun out of the way. Anyway, it's just heartbreaking, and I was in tears. I hugged him goodbye, told him I loved him, and hopefully, some positive is at least something that he hasn't seen for a while. You can tell there's a part of him that wants to get clean, but he acknowledges he's been in and out of jail. He's done things he's not proud of, trying to keep his habit alive, and it's just a terrible thing, really, to me, and really bothered me, tore me up a little bit. I don't know what the answer is, but on my midday, I was already going to talk about this. The 2 things I'm noticing on this journey, and again, if you're a parent, find that video and talk to your kids. I'm trying to walk across the desert right now, figuring out how I got here. There's a street over there, but I don't quite know how I got to it because this is all barbed wired off. So I guess I'll just keep walking around. Anyway, if you're a parent, share that video with your kids that are 10, 12, 14. See what this young man's life is about right now. See what drugs can do. But the one thing I've noticed as I've gone across the country, particularly here in New Mexico, which is the first place I've come where it's completely warm most all of the time. When I stayed, not last night, the night before, down in Albuquerque, to take a line from the movie Notting Hill in the dodgy section of town. Like I said, there was a McDonald's that had a security guard because of the drug use by the hotels next to it. The amount of homeless people, for me, in just a 1 or 2 mile walk was staggering. And a lot of times, along with homeless goes, there's an entrance, along with homeless goes addiction. And the one thing that I haven't talked a lot about on this site as I've gone through town to town. Now, I will say I've seen it firsthand often enough, but I'm also street smart enough to see the workings of it, not right in front of me as I go town to town, mini mart to mini mart, place to place, tavern to bar, whatever it might be. But, and I've said this many times on this journey, people talk about drug dealers. And when I say that, at least on the East Coast, I guarantee you, if I say drug dealer, 90% of you picture a black guy in an inner city standing on a street corner, pushing drugs. Well, there are drug dealers in the inner city for sure. But what I don't think people fully realize is how pervasive drugs are. And in every community, I'm telling you right now, every community that I've been in so far. Sometimes it's been weed under the guise of medical marijuana. Sometimes it's a whole lot worse than that. Sometimes I've seen people doing things recreationally. Other times you got full-blown addicts. It hasn't impacted me or affected me in any way, so I'm not trying to claim it has, or I've been offered, or and I'm not here to judge people that do it. I'm not. I do think it's amazing. I had no idea how small town America is gripped by this. And when I was just talking to Steven back there, when I asked him how he got started, I was expecting to hear, marijuana or something like that. Well, no, it was this opioids that is this crisis in this country. It started with OxyContins and prescription drugs, and he didn't just pop a pill. He ground them up and snorted them or smoked them and got this high. And he said, I came from a good family. It wasn't like he was abandoned by his parents. He was just doing what other kids were doing. And I think, I don't know if it's out of boredom that kids get into this shit. I don't know if it's... But guys, I gotta tell you something, man. It is beyond not popular. Again, I want to say popular, but rampant. It is rampant. It is crazy. Almost every town I've been in has it. When I get to the Southwest, again, I heard stories from people that worked in Border Patrol and the Department of Interior for fire, and talking about how drugs are being smuggled in the country, setting fires to distract people. People getting shot by snipers because they're protecting the borders. It's just a really, again, I'm not trying to be some doomsayer, but it's a brutal situation, and I guess a brutal acknowledgement on my part. I guess I kind of live in this little Pollyanna cocoon of mine with me and my kids and my few close friends, and it doesn't affect us, so it's easy to think that it doesn't affect a lot of people, that it's a problem for somebody else, but it's not, man. It's in every community. And as I said, I'm only going to be getting worse into the homelessness portion of it. I was sitting somewhere just the other day, I don't know where I was, on the phone, reading about a man that got convicted because they found him. He was the guy that was assaulting homeless people, where? Living under the Santa Monica Pier, where I'm going to be ending up. I don't know where I'm going to be sleeping night to night. This guy would go out with a baseball bat and really just destroy these people to take their belongings. I want to say it was only 2 people that he killed, but again, this is our society. You know, as G back in Claremore, Oklahoma, shared with me, who walked across the country himself from California to the East Coast. You know, essentially, in the moment, at least right now, I'm homeless as well. You know, I don't know where I'm going to be from night to night. You know, it's a little bit different, clearly. But, you know, on one hand, you know, I understand what the unknown is, and I have an end in sight. I have a home waiting for me, I hope, when I get back. Or like a paid mortgage, which I just found out about yesterday. We'll see about that. Anyway, you know, it's just, guys, we can sit from afar and in our homes and think it's not an issue, but it really is. So, and then the other thing I want to share with you, I'm going to turn the camera around. This is really kind of neat. So here's what it's like. This was the desert that I imagined when I said, you know, I'm going to walk across the country and I don't mind sleeping out in the desert. But I'm not sure if you can see it. There's been dozens of lizards scrambling about, and it's actually kind of pretty. Like I said, if I turn around for a minute, there's that Sandia mountain I've shared with you, gentlemen and ladies. Over there was a couple of blocks of homes with, you know, get the F out, trespassing signs and dogs that want to eat me. And then I've got this little branch of desert, which is what all these homes are built on. Stuff just like this, except they built on homes over there. Beautiful community over there, which is where I'm blessed and fortunate to be staying tonight. There goes a little critter. So I can't see the camera. I don't know how much time I have left. I just wanted to share with you guys kind of, you know, what the desert looks like out here for those of you that don't. My kids have never been to the desert. So guys, welcome to New Mexico. I love y'all. Thanks for following. Sorry if I got a little dark with this particular video. Stephen and the sense of helplessness I felt and be able to help him. That young man, 26 years old, is just lost. These drugs got a grip on him, and he sat there and said he's doing a lot less than he did 3 months ago, I guess, and somehow that's a victory. You know, he says he feels much better, but it's just a tragic situation. You know, I just spoke with an 8th grade class yesterday, and these 8th graders, what are they, 14 years old, 13, 14 years old? I mean, they're right in that wheelhouse of when a lot of these kids start. Back in Tucumcari, I spent some time with some folks. I met a 15-year-old that, by all intents and purposes, was a really solid, good guy. Until he left the house and was probably going to go out and party and not come home that night. And that's tough to reconcile, man. It's tough to reconcile. 15-year-old. That's the way of life for him right now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't think anybody knows the answer. Otherwise, we'd be doing things. So I'm just kind of sharing with you. That's it, guys. I don't know. When they share the desert, I didn't get eaten by the dogs. Like I said, New Mexico. It's amazing to me. Here's my. Sorry, I got an itch in my hand for the back here. Here's my kind of really puzzling, you know, point of New Mexico, and this might be any city USA really. This one just happens to be pretty as heck. You know, as I said, beautiful residential homes over here, desert land over here, the city of Albuquerque to the south, the beautiful Sandia Mountain over here. You know, over here are mobile homes with a bunch of angry dogs and probably angry people. And then just another half mile up the road, you know, center of commerce, business, people coming and going, and a bunch of homeless people. And it's weird to see all of those things in one quick panoramic view, partially because it's a flat landscape, I can do that, partially because in this close proximity you've got all of that. You've got, you know, not affluence, but you've got, you know, beautiful middle class homes, business, beautiful nature, warm air, desert, and then you got the dark side, homelessness and drug addiction. So I love you guys. Heather, please share this one in particular with the kids. Try to find Steven's live stream if you can. Love all you guys. In fact, 4 weeks from this very moment, I think I will be standing at the end of the Santa Monica Pier, hopefully celebrating with those few that want to come out and be there with me, decompress a little bit. I know it's the end of a long journey. I'll be on my way tomorrow morning again. Love you guys. Thanks for following.